Not even 30 welfare calls could save this little girl. Those she trusted the most turned out to be pure evil. But as hard as it might be, it's important you hear Tanilla's story, so you understand why her family is desperate. Her mother, Donna, stays locked up.
She was just so tiny and full of life.
There is no doubt this crime is one that is particularly heinous.
What she would have went through those last couple of days of her life, hoping that her mum would save her or someone would come along and save her, but they didn't.
Tanilla Warrick Deaves was robbed of her life when it had just barely begun. She was 2 years old. Her stepfather murdered her, relentlessly torturing the toddler in the most callous of ways. Her mother allowed it to happen. Now, 8 years on, those who love Tanilla feel like their hearts have been broken all over again. It's never easy for Brooke Bowen to visit her stepdaughter's grave. Little coloured rocks, angels, trinkets to help detract from the awful fate the defenceless child faced as she struggled with toilet training.
Tanilla was made to run laps of the lounge room. Things were thrown at her, she was whipped.
All the while, Tanilla's mother, Donna Deaves, was there, but did nothing to protect her daughter from the abuse.
Her mother sat there and watched her take her last breath. Well, she don't deserve to get out.
Donna Deaves was sentenced to at least 9 years behind bars for her daughter's manslaughter, a punishment that could see her walk free on parole this time next year.
Tanilla's never coming home, ever. Why should she get to come home?
What do you say to the parole authority when considering her application next year?
Consider what Tanilla went through and the fact that medical evidence proved that she might have well been saved had someone got her help, and that somebody was her mother. She was the only one there that could protect her, and she didn't. She should suffer, so should he, for the rest of their lives.
It was Donna's boyfriend who killed Tanilla. This is him, Warren Ross, trying his best to convince detectives he was innocent.
There's no reason to hit them. You speak to them firmly, they know they've done wrong.
Ross is serving 40 years in jail for murdering Tanilla inside this home on the New South Wales Central Coast. You wouldn't imagine he could be capable of causing any more trauma, but police allege he did. Warren Ross has now been charged with assaulting 2 other young girls in the lead-up to Tanilla's murder in 2011.
If these allegations are proven, then these 2 little girls have to live with the fact that they were traumatised and they were terrorised by a monster, Warren Ross.
Both of the girls, who we can't identify for legal reasons, were known to Tanilla. They loved her.
Why do you think these 2 girls have come forward now?
Because at the time they were little and they had no voice and they probably didn't understand.
Family and Community Services has admitted they misjudged the very high risk Tanilla faced, despite receiving some 30 reports raising concerns.
You've always said, Brooke, that the system let Tanilla down in a very bad way. Would you say the same thing about these 2 little girls?
Absolutely. And if it's found that he's guilty on these new charges, then the department have to answer for that as well.
We really need to be listening to kids much more, accept their accounts much more, and be much more vigilant in actually following it up, not briefly looking at it and then going away and hoping everything's going to be okay.
Psychologist Ian Wallace says it takes great courage for kids who have been abused to speak up.
Really young kids have no idea that their abuse, their suffering is not normal because that's their world. They often have a belief that this is just what happens to kids and that means they're much less likely to report it.
Brooke has started a petition pleading with parole authorities to keep Donna Deaves in jail for as long as possible.
She's not a mother. Mothers don't leave their children to die in prams for 2 days. I will do anything I can and everything I can to make sure she doesn't get out on parole.
Yeah, too many monsters in the world, aren't there? Fight the good fight, Brooke. And if you'd like to sign Brooke's petition, you'll find the link on our website.